everyone. Okay, we're gonna get started in just a second. We're just gonna see if anyone joins. So I'm just gonna share the welcome screen and we'll give it a few more minutes and then we'll get started. Okay, everyone, we're gonna get started here. So I'm gonna line everything up, make sure I'm not muted. Beautiful. Oh, let me put the Okay, hi everyone, I think you can see me entirely. My name is Sarah, this is Pilates Sculpt. It's 45 minutes long. Pilates really focuses on toning and lengthening your muscles. It's very core centered. It also has a big mind aspect to it. We'll be kind of someone meditating say at the beginning and end, checking in on how we feel, what we're doing. It's gonna be a good time. So this is launch week here at the Plex. So Tuesday's theme is Disney themed, which I was so excited to hear about. So the whole playlist I have made, which is in the chat if you're here with me on Zoom, or if you're watching this on YouTube, it is in the description below. So if you want to listen along, that would be fantastic. It has so many great songs on it. So I'm going to count us in so we can be on beat together with the music. So actually, I'll do that right now before we get started. So what you'll need for this class is a mat, or if you're at home, any soft surface will do. I usually do it in the on the carpet in my room. 2 weights of lightweight, like between 2 to 5 pounds. I'll be using 3 pounds today. You'll need 2 of them, or you can do no weights at all, just do movements with your arms, or like 2 water bottles. You can kind of use anything, just be creative. Okay, so I'm gonna start the music in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's get started. So we're gonna start on the ground. I'm gonna start my watch so I can keep track of time. Okay, we're gonna start on the ground. We're gonna place one hand on our chest, one hand on our stomach. And if you feel comfortable, let your eyes fall closed. Let yourself melt into the mat. Let that space between your eyebrows relax. Let your jaw relax. Let your tongue fall away from the roof of your mouth. Let your shoulders fall. The tips of your fingers, the soles of your feet, and the tips of your toes. Just let everything melt. This is your time and your space. Let's take a deep breath, inhaling together. Holding that breath up at the top, and then exhaling. Making sure to get rid of all of that old air. I invite you all to set an intention for class, a reason for being here, a reason for logging in today. I haven't before really explained what an intention is, but I'll give you an example. Usually now, my intention for class is to take some time for myself and focus on self-love. It can be as simple as that. It can be whatever you make it. There are no wrong answers for that question. Let's take one more deep breath together. In. And exhaling. When you're ready, let your eyes come open. Reaching your hands out behind you, legs out long. Taking a big good morning stretch, stretching that length of your body. Oh, this is my favorite stretch. Lengthening your spine. And then slowly, vertebrae by vertebrae, you're going to slowly roll up, focusing when you get in this position, pushing your lower back into the mat, curling up. You're going to kind of be a C shape, then lifting up into a straight sitting position, and then reach over those legs, stretching out your hamstring. And then coming back up to that seated position, and once again, slowly, with control, vertebrae by vertebrae, we're going to roll back down. Once again, making sure we have this curve here before coming back down. If you notice during this move, your legs start to come off the mat, an alternative version, if you start rolling up, you get to this point, and then you walk yourself up for some help, and then stretch over. Whatever is fine. We are just here getting stronger together. No pressure. Just make sure you're challenging yourself today. We're just using this move to warm up our core. We're going to do 8 more here, coming up for 8. And 7. And 6. Five more, coming up for 5. And 4. Three more, coming up and over, back down. And 2. And 1 more, coming up with control, over, getting a good stretch in. And slowly we're going to roll back down. Make sure that your head is on your mat if you need to move a bit down. We have 1 more move in our warm-ups. You're going to take your legs in Pilates stance. So that means you're going to have your knees over top of your hips. Shins are going to be parallel to the mat. You're going to lift your head, neck, and shoulders up off the mat, arms out long. You're going to feel your muscle working here. You're going to start pumping up and down, making sure that lower back is curved into the mat. This is called the Pilates 100. It just warms up your core. This foundational movement is the basis for a lot of the other moves we'll be doing throughout the class. Oh, I love this song. Moana is one of my favorite Disney movies. Plus, The Rock is great in this movie. You're welcome. From Moana's playing right now if you're not listening to the playlist. And if you're ready, if you want to challenge it, we're going to lift our legs up into a 45-degree angle. You can come all the way down. Just make sure the lower back stays tight down to the mat. And we're going to hold this for 8 and 7, 6. I'm right here with you. 5, 4. I'm so proud of you. 3, 2, and 1. Knees and chest, head down. Rocking back and forth. We're going to move into our plank section when you're ready. So coming up off the mat, we're going to go into a plank position. I'm going to tuck in my shirt. This shirt is open in the back and it tends to slide up, which is fine, but it ends up distracting me. Okay, tuck, tuck. So you're going to make sure that your shoulders are over top of your wrist. Everything is going to be a straight line from the tip of your head down to the heel of your toes. Your gaze It's going to be just on the edge of the mat to make sure you keep that neck neutral. Don't look down at your belly button. Look straight down towards the mat.
Mr. Reggie.
And we're just going to hold this.
Yeah, go ahead.
We're just going to get comfortable with the uncomfortable here.
There's a person on the second floor facing the mat cord with not their face mask on, apparently. Could you check that out real quick? Yeah, I'll go with that. Thanks, Reggie.
Something I didn't say at the beginning. We're going to start rocking. Hold on. We're going to start rocking forwards and backwards. Forwards and backwards. Something I did not mention at the beginning of class is please take water as needed. I won't always give you water breaks, but please just either pause the video if you're watching this on YouTube and take a quick sip. Just make sure you're staying hydrated. And 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Coming up into downward dog. Walking out your heels. Take note of how your body feels right now. Coming down into plank position, we're going to go into shoulder taps. You're going to take your left hand to your right shoulder, right hand to left shoulder, just alternating between the two. Trying not to rock back and forth too much, but just keep going, right and left. I'm going to take a quick sip. My voice is starting to crack. A little trick I've noticed with this move to keep your hips from rocking so much. So when you're up in that movement, we're going back and forth. Widen out those legs a little bit. Create more of a steady base. If this becomes too much, take a quick break and go straight back into it. And 8, and 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Coming up into that downward dog. Walking out those legs if you so wish. So what we're going to do is we're going to alternate between this position and plank. We're going to go into plank. Coming up, we're going to take that left hand to that right ankle, put it back down, come back into plank. Rise and downward dog. Take that right hand to that left ankle, place it back down, and come back. We're going to keep alternating between those two. If your hands get a little sweaty and you start to slip, you can either put a towel down, which I don't have at the moment, or just wipe them off a little bit, go right back into it. Just make sure you don't slip and hit your face. Ooh. A little sweatier than normal. It warmed up outside, which is causing it to sweat a little bit more, obviously. Everywhere's just a bit hotter, which is so nice. I was so over the cold being outside. The warmth is so nice and welcome the sunlight. Let's do 8, and 7, and 6, and 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and last one. Coming down. We're going to move into our side planks just to make sure we can touch on those obliques. So you can either take this on your hand like we were doing before, or you take this on your forearm, whatever works. I usually take it on my forearm to give my wrist a break. Just make sure that either your wrist or elbow is in line with your shoulder. We're just going to lift up. Making sure to really push up here. Kind of like there's a string going through your hips, you're just pulling. If this is too much, always take it down on your knees. And what that looks like is this. You're going to have your knees down, hips still lifted, still in that plank position. We're gonna hold this for 8 and 7, 6 and 5, 4, 3, 2 and 1, coming down, switching sides here, and coming right back up. And we're going to hold this for 8, 7, 6, and 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, coming down. We're now going to roll onto our backs. If you can, you're going to take the tip of your middle finger, and they're going to touch the heel of your feet. We're going to go into our bridge series. So you're going to keep your core engaged. We're going to push up through the heel of our foot, squeezing our glutes up in this position and coming back down, tapping our glutes to the mat, but not putting much weight, bringing it back up. So down, tap, up, squeeze. Down, tap, up, squeeze. Keeping that core engaged. Yes, some Hannah Montana just came on if you're listening to the soundtrack. So I just learned an interesting factoid about Hannah Montana. And I would take this with a grain of salt that I saw it on TikTok. Just keeping it there. So it's not a full fact truth. But you know how Dolly Parton is Miley Cyrus's godmother in real life. She also played a family member of hers in the show. And Dolly Parton has naturally brown hair, but she wears a blonde wig in public, so no one recognizes her when she's living her day-to-day life, just like Miley Cyrus in the show, Hannah Montana. So it's slightly based off of Dolly Parton, which I think is so interesting. And we're gonna do this for 8 and 7 and 6 and 5, 4 and 3, 2 and 1, holding up at the top. What we're gonna do now is we're gonna take our hips and we're gonna kind of rock them back and forth. So you're gonna relax a bit, not fully down, kind of like you're going into pulses. You're gonna squeeze your right, left butt cheek, bring it down. Squeeze your left butt cheek and bring it down. So kind of rocking into the bridges. Keeping that core engaged. But yeah, it's finally a warm day this week. It's really supposed to warm up, be in the 60s tomorrow, which is so exciting to finally have some sun on campus. And 8 and 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, and 2, and 1. We're gonna stay lifted. We're going to take our right leg. We're going to lift it up towards the ceiling. If you can on a straight line, keep your knees straight. If not, a slight bend, completely fine. We're going to come down and up, keeping those hips parallel to each other. Keeping that core engaged. And 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. This last one, we're going to stay lifted. We're going to bring our leg down and up, down and up. We're going to do 8 of these, 8 and 7 and 6 and 5 and 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're turning that leg down, taking that left leg up towards the ceiling, coming down and up, just as we did on the right side.
supervisor. Go ahead. There's a broken treadmill overlooking the mat court.
And 8, 7,
I'm going to know the number
6,
of the treadmill on there next to it in the
4,
ER.
3,
I'm not
2,
sure, but I can
and
check it right
1.
now.
Keeping lifted. Bring that left leg down
That's awesome.
and back up. Down and back up. And again, we're going to go for 8
and
7. Keeping those hips lifted. 6
I'm going to grab them right now.
and 5. I'm right here with you. 4 and 3. Y'all got this. 2. Last one. We're turning that left leg to the ground, but keeping our hips lifted. We're going to take our legs, walk them away from our body. So what we're going to do is the same exact move. We're going to come down, tap, lift, squeeze. Down, tap, up, squeeze. The reason we have our legs farther away from us is because it really targets our hamstring area. And 8 and 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Coming down. We're going to go into our side leg series here to roll onto your left or right side. You're going to support your, I'm going to scoot up a little bit on the mat.
Finish, go ahead.
Okay. You're going to support your head on your hand, or you can lay down like this. Anything is fine. I prefer to keep my head a little bit lifted. That's kind of a personal preference. The important part is going to be what's happening down here. So you want your hips facing me. You're going to take your legs straight out from you and like shift them up about 45 degrees. If you're on a mat, it should be coming off the front back corner of your mat. You're going to flex that top foot, keeping your core engaged. You're going to lift your leg up and down with your foot flex, up and down. I like to take my top hand and place it right in front of me for balance. But again, what really matters is what's happening at your hips and below. Don't forget to breathe. Trying to think if I have any fun stories from my week. I went on Kairos. It's a retreat here at Boston College. I led it actually. Took place on the Newton campus. It's a retreat that is meant to help you get to know yourself, others, and God more on a deeper level. It's really centered around love and joy, and it was really, really beautiful, especially during COVID, to be able to connect on such a deep and personal level with so many people this weekend. I really loved it. It was a really wonderful experience. So I'm kind of on what they call a high right now. It was such a good time. So I don't have that many fun stories except for the retreat, which was fantastic to tell you all about for my weekend. Let's do 8 and 7, 6, 5, 4, and 3, 2, and 1. Bringing our legs down. What we're going to do now is we're going to take that top foot. We're going to point it. We're going to slide it along our leg to our knee, then straightening it up, flexing and bringing it down. Okay, so that's point, drag, up, flex. Keeping your hips somewhat towards me. We're only going to do 16 of these. We have 8 more after this one. 8 and 7 and 6 and 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1 and coming down. We're going to switch sides here. So again, supporting that head as we did on the other side, taking those legs coming off the front back corner, flexing, lifting, and lowering, keeping that core engaged. This week is kind of my heavy week with work-wise. I mean, they're all kind of heavy recently, but this week is especially bad. So this is really nice to take this break here and focus just on moving my body, getting in touch with myself here. When I get back home, I have organic chem lab stuff and papers and exams and quizzes, and it's nice just to focus on this right now. Be here with you guys. The sun streaming through the windows, it's really beautiful. And 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Coming down, relaxing for a quick second. Okay, we're going to our last move. Point to knee, straighten, flex, bring down. Point, glide to knee, up, flex, down. Again, 16 on this side. And we're going to go into 8 more. So 8 and 7 and 6 and 5 and 4 and 3 and 2. One more, guys.
All set for spin 45.
And down. We're going to lay onto our backs.
Thank you. Have a great class.
And do a quick little stretch. So you're going to take your right ankle on top of your left knee. Reach those hands behind the left knee, pulling in. Taking a deep breath. Inhale. And on the exhale, pulling that knee in a little bit more, deepening that stretch. And relaxing that leg down, switching sides. Taking the left ankle on top of that right knee, reaching behind that right knee and pulling in. Taking a deep inhale. And on the exhale, deepening that stretch. And coming out of it, we're going to move on to our core section. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our legs into that Pilates stance I taught y'all at the beginning of class. So your knee is going to be over top of those hips, shins parallel to the mat. Lifting your head, neck, and shoulders up off the mat. We're going to bring in our right knee into us, left leg out, strong and straight, long and straight. And then switching, making sure our lower back is pressed down into the mat. If this is too much and your lower back keeps popping up off the mat, take it up higher. Anywhere in between, completely, totally fine. If your leg doesn't stay completely straight, always kind of slight bend. Just as long as you're getting comfortable with the uncomfortable is my new phrase, and are challenging yourself today. And that could look different on a day-to-day basis. Some days you just feel better than others. Wherever you're at today, I'm here with you. The world humbles us in so many ways, in so many instances. But here on the mat in my class is where we find our strength and where we find our power. And 8 and 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, staying up. We're going to straighten our leg. We're going to do the same thing, pulling in, pulling in. Again, slight bend. If that's what you need to do today, totally fine. If you need to keep it a little bit up higher, completely fine. And 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Knees into chest, head down. Taking a deep inhale. Get a sip of water if you need. And then we're going to lengthen our legs out towards the ceiling. We're gonna move into our upper abs. So what we're gonna do is feet flex, legs straight. Of course, if your legs cannot be straight, slight bend is fine. Reaching your hands up, you're gonna reach into a crunch, reaching for your ankles, coming back down. Up and down, keeping our gaze down towards our knees on a nice and neutral position. And 8, 7, 6, and 3, 2, 1, coming down. We're gonna work on our lower abs now. So if you wanna take your hands into a triangle and put them under your tailbone, if you want some extra support, keeping that lower back pressing into the mat, just make sure it stays there. You're gonna pick a point on the ceiling and you're going to just go in circles, going clockwise around that. You can do your little baby circles like I'm doing, yeah. You can make it a little bit bigger. You can make them even bigger. Just make sure you're challenging yourself. I'm gonna do medium-sized circles today. I'm gonna take 2 square tiles and circle my legs around them. And in 4, 3, 2.
I'm having some trouble with the
And
TrackMan.
switching
If you want to talk to the golf simulator and see if there's anything you can do.
Yep, right there.
Yeah.
The Wizard Waverly Place theme song just came on the playlist. You know what's a funny story about that actually? So I don't know whoever watched it, but if you watched it, there is a character called Harper, and she's Alex Russo's, aka Selena Gomez's best friend. Harper has quite the personality, very outgoing. She walks the beat of her own drum type of person. She's beloved. But my friend Jack likes to think I'm the Harper, which is a beloved term, but it's just so funny because if you have watched the show, Harper wears like marker dresses and just the most outrageous clothes, and it's just funny. It's kind of become a joke in my friend group. So 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Bring your knees into our chest. Head down. We're going to move into our arms and back section. So when you're ready, you can be in a seated position, grabbing those weights. You can have your legs crossed. If you need a sip of water, now is a good time to take one. Whew. So, sink those weights into our hands. You want your legs in a nice neutral position. You can even do this standing. Just make sure that your spine is straight, chest is proud. Let's roll our shoulders up towards our ears, back, and relax. Weights are going to come out to your sides. Your grip on the weights isn't going to be like a death grip, but it's not going to be so loose they fall out. Just a nice, relaxed grip. Elbows into your rib cage, coming down and up, down, up. And we're going to do this for 8 and 7 and 6 and 5, 4, 3, 2. On the last one, transitioning into shoulder presses. So a nice loose grip in those hands. Elbows are coming forward and back, up and down. And 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Transitioning right away. You're going to take both those weights in both of your hands. You're going to take your elbows up by your ears, arms up, reaching back, bending your elbow, going into tricep extensions. Keeping those elbows in tight towards your ears. And 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring those weights down. We're going to go into one more set of that. So going into our bicep curls, arms out, up and down. And 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Shoulder presses going up. And let's do 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Taking both those weights into both your hands, lifting our arms up towards the ceiling, elbows towards your ears, and down and up, working on those triceps. I know this is getting difficult, at least it is for me, but I'm right here with y'all. This is our last move into the cool down. I believe in you. We got this. Getting comfortable with the uncomfortable. And let's do 8 and 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. You are so strong. And 2 and 1. Bring those weights down, setting them aside. Shaking out our arms, grabbing a sip of water. Congratulations, you have made it to the cool down part of the workout. If you want to join me, there's still kind of a fast song playing on the playlist. I'm going to skip ahead to the next one because it's more a cool down beat. So I'm going to switch it in 3, 2, 1, and one more time. Sorry, I kind of skipped ahead 2 songs. We're going to lay back down. And we're just going to sit here for a quick second. Taking a deep inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Before reaching our arms out above us, legs out long. Once again, taking that good morning stretch. Before rolling up and over our legs. Making our hamstrings.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is Drew. I'll be supervising with John and Matt today. I'm going to start off with a radio check. Supervisor to equipment desk, radio check.
Equipment desk.
Control desk, radio check.
Control desk.
Coming up, you're going to take your legs
Radio check.
so they touch.
Member services.
Aquatics,
You're going to take your
check.
elbows to kind of notch them in your knees.
261, radio
Pushing
check.
down. Stretching out your inner thighs. We worked those a lot today.
FA2.
Back flat.
Facility maintenance, radio check.
Chest proud.
Maintenance. Pro
Opening
staff, radio
up our
check.
hips and inner thighs here.
Pro staff. Outdoor adventures,
I
radio
never
check.
noticed I need a pedicure until I'm doing this class. when I do indeed need to do either a pedicure myself or go get one.
John, radio check. John. Matt, radio check. Thanks, everyone. Have a good shift.
And coming up, we're going to go to a stretch. And that left arm across your body, pulling back.
Good. Was there ever any mention of loose AirPods being found in the tennis court? Last night, my friend asked me whether you guys had found them. I can check the log right now. Thanks, because I can pick them up for her.
And coming out, switching sides, pulling back with that left arm, relaxing that right shoulder. And coming out of that, taking our right hand up and back, taking our left hand, pulling on that right elbow. And switching sides. And coming out. Let's go into a spinal twist. I think this is always good. Taking our left hand to our right knee, right hand behind us. We're going to look towards the back wall, keeping our chest proud. And on our inhale, we're going to pretend there's a string coming out of our head, pulling us up and erect. And as we exhale, deepening that spinal
The only
twist.
thing noted from last night that I see is an AirPod case that was found on the second floor above the mat court.
And coming forward.
Okay, sounds good.
We're going to take that right hand to that left knee, left hand behind you. Twisting, looking at that back wall. Taking a deep inhale as we stretch out our spine. And exhale, deepening that twist. And coming forward, we're going to go onto all fours. So you're going to have your shoulders over top of those wrists. We're going to go into some cat-cow. So you're going to arch your spine looking up towards the ceiling. And then like a cat, rounding your back, looking towards your belly. And just rotating through those with your breathing. I always love how this makes my back feel. I don't know if it's because of how I sit at my desk when I'm doing work. My back is always sore and in need of some expansions, curlings. And coming back to neutral spine. What we're going to do is come into downward dog, walking out our heels. Once again. And then when you're ready, taking that right leg up straight towards the ceiling, knee into your chest, and down into pigeon. You can come as low as you would like, or stay as high as you want. This is your time. We're going to come up and out of that when you're ready. We're going to lift that left leg up, knee into your chest, and down into pigeon. when you're ready, we're gonna come out of that. And we're gonna roll back down. Having our feet placed onto the mat. You're gonna place one hand on your chest, one hand on your stomach, as we did in the beginning of class. Again, if you feel comfortable, let your eyes fall closed. And we're gonna re-melt back into the mat, relaxing that space between our eyebrows, relaxing our jaw, relaxing our tongue away from the roof of your mouth, relaxing your shoulders, the tips of your fingers, the soles of your feet, and the tips of your toes, letting everything sink down into the mat. We're going to take a deep inhale here, holding that breath up at the top, and then exhaling. I invite you all to recall that intention that you set at the beginning of class, that reason why you came. Take note of how you feel in this moment. Do a quick self-check. How do you feel mentally? How do you feel physically? Maybe even how you feel spiritually. Just take notice of that. Know that it's okay however you feel. Just be aware of how you feel. Something I like to do at the end of every class is take a moment for gratitude. Thanking ourselves for all that they were able to accomplish today and for coming and making this time for ourselves. We're thanking our bodies for what they were able to do during those 45 minutes. And I would like to thank all of you for coming and getting stronger with me today. I am truly proud of every single one of you. When you're ready, slowly letting your eyes come open, reacquainting yourself with the room around us. Coming into a seated position, we're going to take one more breath as a class. Reaching our hands up towards the sky as we inhale, palms together, and as we exhale, palms come down to heart center. Thank you all for joining me today. My name is Sarah. This was Pilates Sculpt. It was 45 minutes long. I also have a class every Saturday here in person on the mat course at 1:30. That is also 45 minutes long. Today was Disney themed, and I hope you all had a magical workout. I will be looking forward to working out with you next week. Thank you.